Hello, I'm Tyler Smith of Battleship Pretension. I'm here to talk about one of my favorite film characters. So, do you remember when you were back in school and there was that one kid that just wouldn't leave you alone? Sometimes he'd punch you, sometimes he'd just insult you. And he often made your life a living hell and you never quite knew why. As we think back, with the benefit of hindsight, we often realized this kid was deeply miserable. Usually he wanted acceptance from others but didn't really know how to ask for it. So rather than learn how to be vulnerable and engage with the other kids, he chose instead to keep his walls up and lash out, often at the people whose acceptance he desired the most. Of course, we refer to this kid as a bully. Many of us knew this kid. I myself was this kid. I wasn't often violent, but I sure could be mean, and all because I just wanted people to like me. It's completely counterintuitive, but that's the nature of childhood. The reason that I tell that story is that it is that experience that gave me an appreciation for the character of Don Logan in the British gangster film Sexy Beast, played brilliantly by Ben Kingsley. As Don, a low-level lieutenant in the British mob, Kingsley sees a childhood bully who never grew out of that behavior. After all, part of the appeal of being a criminal is that nobody can tell you what to do. So it's entirely possible to stay in a state of arrested development your entire life. Kingsley's character often seems like some kind of mad dog, raging at anybody that frustrates him, sometimes violently, sometimes merely with volume and horrendous demeaning language. Watch this scene in which Don is asking retired mobster Gal to come back and do one last job for him.
Talk to me, Gal. I'm here for you. I'm a good listener.
What can I say, Don? I've said it all. I'm retired.
Shut up. Cunt. You louse. You got some fucking neck, ain't you? Retired, fuck off. You're revolting. Look at your fucking suntan. Like leather. Like a leather man. Your skin. You can make a fucking suitcase out of you. Old all. You look like a crocodile, fat bastard. You look like fucking Idi Amin, you know what I mean? State of you. You should be ashamed of yourself. Who do you think you are? Give me the castle. Cock of the ball.
Don's abuse is hard to watch, but if you look closely, you can see what appears to be a sense of hurt underneath. Don is asking for something and is being rejected. And so he responds the way all bullies do, with aggression. And though it doesn't excuse his behavior, what Don wants is acceptance. But it's too late. He's hurt these people too many times. They'll never accept him because they're afraid of him. He brings tension with him everywhere he goes. He tries to be friendly, but it just doesn't work.
Well, it's meant to sound nice on the phone, Jack. Nice telephone voice. Sound like you work in an office. You ever worked in an office?
No.
No? Nice telephone voice. I've worked in an office. I was 17. Does that surprise you?
Well, you were 17.
You've got very nice eyes, Dee Dee. Never noticed them before. They real?
Don shows that he is more than just instinct, however. Like many kids, he can be manipulative when he needs to be, playing up his innocence to get out of trouble.
This is very serious, Mr. Logan.
You're right, sir. It's very serious. I've been here for 5 hours.
As you may know, all European
But before you
airlines...
start, I want to say something. Let me ask you something, please.
Have you ever been sexually assaulted? No, neither have I. Until today, on that plane.
What?
Yeah, that's what I said. Here's me, put my bag up in the cupboard. Next thing you know, I feel hands on me. Someone's touched me. Touched my front bottom. I can't believe it, I've gone all cold. I look round. He's standing there, isn't he? That steward with the guilty look on his face. I was shocked. I didn't know what to say. I had to sit down, I was that perturbed. And then his mate, the other one, who's giving us all lessons on what we do for land in the sea, how to work your life jacket, etc., he starts looking at me, all funny, suggestive. Now, I don't know whether they wanted me for a twos-up or something. I don't know how they work it. But I tell you what, it scared me. I was shaking like a leaf. So, without thinking, I lit up a cigarette to calm my nerves. I was trembling. I was very emotional. And that's when all the rest of it happened. It's very regrettable.
The real tragedy of Don Logan is just how much he desires love and acceptance, and how desperately he wants to attain it. But the harder he tries, the further out of reach it is. And we only really come to understand the sadness of the character after he's dead, when his boss, faced with the fact of Don's murder, simply says,
"If I cared, gal. If I fucking cared. If I gave a solitary fuck about Don."
And that about sums it up. Don is a miserable man that nobody loves. And he decides that he's going to spread that misery around right up until the point it gets him killed. And then nobody mourns him. As awful a man as Don is, his motivations come from a very human place that I think we can all relate to, and that's what makes him such a great character. Thanks for watching.